start the recording. Hi, everyone. Again, saying hi just because you're now starting the recording. We will today have a session. I don't know if we can do it in one session on the second part of Git together with GitHub this time. This should give you everything that you then need. I swear I will not do Git with you again for a while to fully start coding in Python. But before we start doing that, I would just like to pick up on the question that Daniel just asked and go over the process of what I were to do when I start my code workday. And for this, I will bring up my console. I hope this is readable. I will increase the font size a bit. I hope this is now readable. Wait, this is how it should look in the beginning, or wherever your path is. What I do in the beginning, whenever I start my workday, is make sure that everything that I work with is on the latest version of itself. Meaning, as I am here right now working on a Ubuntu, a Linux machine, because it's like this integrated Linux into Windows, I update everything I have. Again, every one of you who is on macOS, I walked you through setting up Homebrew. Therefore, your command is a bit different. Your command is brew space upgrade in your terminal. For me, it is the apt-get. So I would go, these commands I would have to do as a super user. And for this, I would need to enter the super user mode. Sudo su. This will prompt me for my password. And as soon as I enter the password correctly, I am then no longer the user pure, but I am instead root. Like this is now my machine. And in that mode, I would then run the command that I run all the time. Therefore, I only have to type in one arrow up. That is apt-get update. And I just chain it together with these double and signs. So I have apt-get update and apt-get update, and the -y meaning say yes to everything because I know what I have installed. And this is what I run whenever I start in the beginning. Also, Daniel, this should answer, if you were to do it like that, that should remedy the issues you have there.
Yes, it's still running.
Perfect. Give it some time. For me, I do this every day. Therefore, it should not it should be a rather quick process. If I want to exit out again, as I mentioned in the past, you would just do Control and D, because then I go one layer out and I quit the sudo mode and I go back to my normal user. Cleaning my console with Control and L. I think on the Mac it is Command and K to have a clean console again. If not, that does not really matter. The next thing I do after I make sure my computer is up to date is to make sure that all the code that I work with is up to date. And I will not do this with my work code now. I think this would be a bad practice. I will navigate into that folder that we have together for this project and that you all should have at the end of the session as well. But just so you see it now, for me, it is in code, learning, and legal ++. Again, mentioning, you can just have the first letters followed by slashes in your terminal and then press tab to have autocomplete. So what I do is I navigate into the folder where I have all the code for this course. And what I do then is a command called git pull. Git pull meaning, and you will learn this in detail this session, please check on GitHub, the one place where all the code is stored, if I am on the latest version of the code. Because in the meantime, since the last session we did, someone else could have edited something, could have uploaded something there that I am not aware of. And by pulling, I make sure that anything that has happened in the meantime also will be on my machine. For example, I don't work Mondays at the law firm, and whenever I come back on Tuesday, I need to make sure that I pull all the latest changes that have happened to not miss out on anything that my colleagues would have done on Monday. And they have done something for sure. If I were to now go back into my work account, I'm sure they would have done something. Okay, and after I did these two things, I made sure my machine is up to date and the code I work with is up to date. I would then start coding. Just so you've seen it once, we will do this again and again and again. Okay, moving it out now. Let's get back to the slides. What I want you to see, understand, learn today is the one thing that I cannot fully say how long it takes. It might even take longer than this session, just because I'm not sure where the latest changes that happened there. I need to explain to you what GitHub is and how to set it up. I would need to explain to you how to get the code that I have just been talking about, like our project we have together, on your local machine. For this, I would need to tell you how branches work. And then I will teach you this pushing and pulling to and from GitHub. Within this, I will also teach you what a thing called a pull request actually is. Something you might have heard already in past. If not, don't worry, it's all good. Good. Let's see how far we can come with this for this session. Generally speaking, what is GitHub? GitHub is it's just a website. It is just one place in the internet where you can store your code. What you see here is the image that I showed you last session of how your Git, if you do it on your machine, works like a history book, where you have here one commit, another commit, and so on. And Git works fine just like that. If you are working on your own, totally on your own, and you are not afraid of your computer burning or is anything happening to your machine, you can also just do Git on your machine alone. This is fine. But as soon as one additional person joins in, this is going to be complicated because, I mean, we want to collaborate on a project together. Therefore, there usually needs to be one common place where we all put the code that we write, all of us, because we all want to, in the end, work together on the same code. And this is the place that we would call GitHub. There's different websites that do the same thing, like Bitbucket. They all do the same thing. This is just one place where a group of users takes their local Gits, like their history books, and puts them together into, you can imagine it like something like a bookshelf. Everyone is putting their history book there. And with everyone putting their history book there, usually this is also the place where multiple people agree on which history is actually the correct history, because that might differ. I might have done some different code than anyone else on my team. And then we would have to decide which code is actually correct, whose history is the correct history. And this is also done in GitHub. This has a couple of advantages. It allows for collaboration. So we as a team, and we will do that a lot in the future, can agree on what we think is the good code that should go forward. It also comes with the upside of if something were to happen to my computer, or if my house burns down, but I, before the house burned down, did push all of my code to GitHub, I can continue working the next day on a different machine. I don't want to. I would like to make sure that the house is fine. However, I am very resilient. So if everything that I have done is stored somewhere, it's like if you store your data on a cloud, it kind of makes sense. That ensures that everything is again accessible whenever you need it. Good. Now for the tricky part. I have in the past seen that pretty much all of you have set up an account on GitHub. Every one of you who has not yet created an account on GitHub should do that exactly now, because I need to add all of you to this common project that we have. In GitHub, this would be called a repository. So repository, this is just my my GitHub here. Repositories are all the projects that I have been working on or am working in. And for us, I have created one that I just call Legal++ 2024. It's not much in there, but this is just for you. If you were to log in into GitHub and you already sent me over your username, you should also find that project. Anyone who did not yet send me over the GitHub username, please send me over your GitHub username, because I need to add you to this project, to this repository. As this is what you see here, so-called a private repository, meaning only people that are invited can work together on this project. I just do this to make sure that we are actually fine with making mistakes. Otherwise, it could have also just, and a lot of repositories do that, be public, meaning everyone can view the code. Everyone can also comment on the code, and so on. I just received a message with a GitHub username that I will now add into this project as well. I see, Daniel, you did not take the invite. I will send it out again. Okay. I will add a Daniel, and then I will add in Konstantin. You should have received now an invite inside of GitHub. I need to quickly go back into focus mode because I get the weirdest messages. Okay. Yashan, I think oh, no, I do not have you yet. Okay, perfect. Let me quickly also, Yashan, can you quickly copy that into Discord? It's hard for me to also open up the chat in Zoom at the same time while I speak. Okay, all of you who have sent me over, the usernames should also now be able to see this Legal++ repository. And in there, and this is something that is important to see in the beginning, there is this green button where it just reads code. This is what you would need to actually get this project on your machine. And this is also where we need to spend some time now, sadly, because what we need to do, so every one of you needs to have the same code to work on. Therefore, ich habe dich vergessen. Could you send me your GitHub username, please? Huh? Wo hast du mir geschickt? In Discord bitte. Dann kann ich es reinkopieren. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Yeah. On the code thing. So in order to get that code on your machine, we do a thing that is called cloning. So we clone a repository. This is how you would say it. And in order to clone a repository, you need to just copy this URL and then do a command that is called git space clone space and then this URL. Or it used to be like that, because I think if I were to do it now, HTTPS, GitHub would now complain. Can someone please just test it for me if that works? I think GitHub disabled this, just doing it via HTTPS. Okay, if not, I will show you what I mean. Maybe I was a bit cryptic here. So I go into my terminal. And let us assume I'm not inside this project because that doesn't make sense to clone it into itself. But if I want to set up a new project, or if I want to get an existing project on my machine, I do this command called cloning. It's like git clone, and then I add in the URL. Wait, I did a mistake here in copying. Let me just clean it up. And if this would work now properly, okay, it tells me that I already have this folder. This is kind of stupid by me. Let me quickly remove that folder. Does someone remember what the command to remove a folder and all the subfolders is?
I think
Quick.
it's RM and then the folder.
Yeah. So RM and the folder would do what?
It will remove the folder.
It does remove the folder, but it doesn't work because it's a folder. Therefore, so what I need to do is I need to go through the folder recursively. Oh, okay, now it's working. The recursively meaning it needs to go through everything that is inside the folder. Therefore, I need this -r, but rm is basically correct, yes. Okay, now that I have removed this from my computer, I will do it again. So I will clone it again. Oh, why is it asking me this? It should not even be asking me this. And let me on the side, without recording it, hopefully, get up my password and stuff. Okay, that was what I expected. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to see. So it used to be until 2021, I was able to just do git clone and then the HTTPS thing that you would have on GitHub. But this was found to be not safe enough. Therefore, everyone who wants to work with this on GitHub needs to sadly, or I mean, luckily, basically, set up a thing called SSH. And we need to do that together because GitHub now requires you to use a safer form of authentication. And therefore, all of us together now need to set up SSH for GitHub. I'm sorry for this, I cannot change it. However, this is something good. Okay, because there is the second tab, that's SSH, and this one works if this is set up correctly. So what we want to see then is we want to do a git clone and then do this SSH thing. And you see, it does that without complaining. So right now, I have this folder again that I just deleted. It pulled it back from GitHub. And therefore, I now need to set up SSH with all of you. So that is a lot of words. Sorry, I was a bit lost in all the words. And for this, this is something that we need to do from the console. Set up SSH git hub. We need to do that together. I have done that in the past couple times for different people, but I need to look it up all the time whenever I do it. Okay. So what we need to do, I will also copy paste this into our chat here, so you can read along if you want. We will basically start here. Open git bash, or for us, it's our terminal. So we open up our terminal. Please, all of you, just follow along with me. Cleaning up the terminal. In the terminal, you would, oh, wait, let me quickly see if the, okay, one step back. All of you at the top here, it reads Mac or Windows or Linux. And you please choose your correct operating system. I also right now am not on Windows, but I am on the subsystem for Linux. Most of you, I think, however, are on a Mac. Therefore, choose the Mac thing that you need to do. Because if you like click a different one, it has the correct commands that you need to run through. Let me see if I actually want to do that now because I already have it set up. Is someone of you who has not set this up in the past willing to share the screen? Then we can do it together. I think that would make more sense than me playing around with what I have. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. This is what I was hoping for. Okay, Daniel, on which type of machine are you on? Are you on a Windows? Yes, it looks like you're on a Windows.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Then please go ahead and open up your terminal. Perfect. Copy in this SSH minus keygen thing, but replace what is inside of these quotation marks with your actual GitHub credentials.
How do I paste stuff in?
I'm confused every time. I think it's Control-Shift-V.
Doesn't work.
Right click.
Ah, yeah.
Okay. Every terminal works a bit differently. Okay. Oh, no. Please leave that.
Oh,
The
okay.
ED
I thought it was like
25519 is good. Yep, just paste it in again. If someone of you has pre-existing SSH keys that they know of, then we might need to change the value of ED 25519.
Which email should I use?
The email that you used to sign up in GitHub.
Okay.
Just press enter, because this is the file you want. If you want to protect it with a password, you can do it now. You can also choose to not. Just press enter then. Perfect. What you now did is you now created on your machine a key pair, one public and one private key. And this is there to encrypt communication between your machine and GitHub. Okay, let's go back into the guide. And you are on Windows Subsystem for Linux, I assume, right?
Yes, I'm.
Ubuntu, perfect. Yeah, therefore I needed to click on Linux on top. Okay. Then we would need to make sure that the thing on your machine that actually takes care of this communication is running. This is called the key agent. Therefore, you would need to paste in the command below, if you were to scroll down a bit. Oh, wait, you're still on Windows. On the top, you need to click on Linux. You are on a Linux system, although your outer computer is Windows. Very top, scroll to the very top, and there it reads Linux. Yep, perfect. Now scroll down a bit more. A bit more. Yeah, there's this eval thing. Copy, please, this eval thing. Yeah, no, don't copy the dollar sign. The dollar sign is only ever there to show that this is your input. Copy that and go, yeah, perfect. Perfect. What we want to see, what we're doing here, this command eval is checking if something called SSH agent is running. And the computer returns to us agent PID, process ID, meaning there is a process that is running. This is all we need to see. This is good. So your computer is working fine. This is a good sign.
Right.
Great. And now go back into the guide. Scroll down to the next one, and then just type in this command. Excellent. Excellent. Perfect. What you did right now is you told your user management, your key agent, that there is one key on your machine, and it should please use that key. And you also told the computer where this file is. So you SSH added the document that lies under home/SSH/ and then the name of the ID. This is the one that you created. Perfect. Now you only need to add in this key. So this is the private key. This is your key on your machine. Now you need to add in the public key to GitHub. And for this, you go back into the guide. This, I think, is the last step. Oh, go back up again. Go back up. There's add the SSH public key to your account in GitHub. For this, you could read it up. We don't need to. We need to, on your machine. I understand that there might be questions. Everyone else who has questions there, it doesn't work properly. We can do that. We can take the time. This is important. We just need to set it up once. Go back into your terminal now. Right next to where your this key is, so this tilde SSH thing, next to it. So in the same folder, there's something that has the same name but is ending on the has a .pub ending. So if you now just cd space tilde slash punkt dot ssh, press enter. Then you moved into the SSH folder, and if you now type in ls, press enter, you see there's this IDED. This is what you just added to your keychain, and then there's also the IDED.pub. And the IDED.pub is the public pair to your key, and this is the one that should actually be saved on your GitHub account. Therefore, read everything that is in that file to your command line, meaning cat space ID, exactly that one. Cat IDED the pub. Does it work?
Doesn't work.
Okay, and you can just copy this line. So everything in there, the whole line. Copy it and paste it in your GitHub. If you log in into GitHub, in your GitHub, at the very top, you should have your user, exactly. Then you go on your user icon on the top right. And then in settings, on the very bottom, you on the left have SSH and GPG. And there you can new SSH key, press new SSH. You obviously had one from before, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You can just name whatever your machine is. Laptop view. That also makes sense. Now paste in that string. Perfect. And on the bottom, it should read as add SSH key. Excellent. Now let us test if, so this should be everything. I can walk every one of you through these steps if there's questions, but let's test if it works. If it worked, go to the repository that I invited you in, because now you should be actually able to pull it so clone it on your computer and fully interact with it. Click on the green code button. Copy that line where it reads SSH. Yeah, exactly that one. Copy to clipboard. And go back into your Ubuntu. And then please navigate into your code folder. So cd, I assume it would be tilde/code, something like that. Okay, and in here, you do a git space clone space, and then paste the URL.
Doesn't work.
Let's try that again. It should, it's some way work. Yes,
No.
there it is. Press enter. Hallelujah, it worked. Ha, perfect. Got you. Okay, you are set up. You are also, I would assume, the first person to be set up, but it worked. This is a proof of concept, if you've ever seen one. Meaning, Daniel, right now you have all the code that we need on your machine. Everyone else, so everyone else, just give me like Lebenszeichen, like give me signs on where are you at. You can stop sharing. You are all set up.
I did the steps
Yeah.
to where it shows the codes, but then it differs from Mac to Linux. The
Yeah.
add SHH part is different on Mac, so
Okay,
I stopped
start
there.
sharing. Let's do it.
Yeah, so can you see my screen?
Yes, I see your screen.
So
Okay,
I'm
so
here
you
right
created the key pair. This is important. Then you made sure that the SSH agent is running. Okay, then on which step are you on?
now. Start
So this one
SSH
you
agent
did.
in the
This one
background.
works. This one works. Yes, you did that at the bottom. This one worked.
Yeah.
Then next step for you would be go back over again. The two load keys. Okay. You are, I would assume, on a new Mac, right? On a somewhat new
Yeah.
Mac OS version. Then let's
Yeah.
do this step that we need to do. You will need to modify your SSH. Okay, please go back into your terminal. You please navigate into that correct folder. Therefore, cd space tilde slash. So this tilde sign. Are you on a German keyboard? I think it's Alt N, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Dot SSH. Press enter. Okay, give me a ls minus alt. Okay, okay, there is only that key file. Perfect. Then there is this one line in the guide. It's where it reads touch tilde ssh/config. This one you need to do because you need to set up this file if it
So
did
just
not
paste
exist.
it and
Yeah, just paste it in there. Yashan, the invite to what? Sorry.
Oh, to the GitHub.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I will do that in the meantime. Okay, so you just created this config file, and inside that file, you need to paste the content that is below.
so this host github.com add keys to agent.
Yeah, the whole thing, the whole thing.
Okay. And I do nano and then the file name, or
You could do, yes, I would do the nano file and then the file name.
so
You can also just
nano and
copy in the path that you had above. This would also work. Like the
this one.
The whole thing together with tilde in
Okay.
them. Okay, I need to in the meantime add Yashan. Yashan, what is your username? Please spell it out to me in the meantime.
Yeah, I just
yeah.
sent it in the chat.
Yeah. Next time, please send me stuff on Discord. I'm just blind to that chat on. It's a super ugly chat for me. I cannot fully work with it. So if you have something for me, just send it over in Discord because that one I have open on the side. Okay, but I will now add you in manually.
Are we done for the session after setting up GitHub? Because
You are cutting out a bit.
are we done for the session after we have set up GitHub?
I wanted to go over a couple more things, but I feel like I need to have everyone set up for now. So I feel like if you want to run, this is a good time to do it now. You can look at the recording if you need to.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great one. Okay, so you did nano into that one?
Yeah.
Did it work? Okay. Perfect. Then you should be done with that step. What is the next step on your Mac guide? Okay, SSH perfectly. Okay, yeah, you can just do copy, paste the thing under 3. Perfect, that one worked. And now the last step is the same that Daniel just did, where you take the public key and add it to your GitHub. Therefore, what you would do is you can, as you are already in the SSH folder, you can just but this is good to know. I already I made a note. Okay,
where
go
do I
into
have
your
to paste it?
yeah, go into your GitHub on the top right in your user account. Go to on the left, go to SSH and GPG. New SSH key.
SSH.
Name it whatever your machine is. Doesn't really matter. And paste it below. Exactly. Add SSH key. I don't know why it wants your password, but okay, I guess this is fine. Okay, now let us also test if this works for you. Therefore, go back into the repository that we that I invited you in.
Yeah.
On the left, should read at the very bottom repositories.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, this is our common project. And click on code and SSH, and then copy that line there on the right. There's a copy sign. Exactly. Now go back into your terminal and navigate into your code folder.
Yeah.
This wouldn't work because you are not in home right now. You are in SSH. You need to give it a bit more paths. So you would need to do cd tilde / and then d/c and so on. This would work.
Okay. Oh fuck.
Tab, press tab.
Yeah.
It's a learning thing. Oh man, I suffered doing that in the past. Okay, and inside here you do git space clone space and then paste in that line. Press enter.
Enter.
Yes, you want to trust me. Okay. Host
Could not
key.
read from...
Interesting. Why ever you would not be able to work here? This is super weird. Please press arrow up once again, just to be sure. I want to see if you, yeah, enter. Yes, press yes. Oh, you have to type in yes, sorry. This is why it doesn't work.
Okay, I get it, sorry.
Okay, now you have it. If you do ls, you will see that inside your code folder, you now have a subfolder that is legal++ 2024. You can delete the other one. This is the one folder that we all work with.
Okay, so my own folder I created, I can delete.
Yeah, the L++ you can delete.
Okay. Yeah, okay, good.
This is our common folder that we will use in the future. Okay, anyone else having questions here? I rather now take the time to have you set up once. If this is done once, you can then pull from GitHub and push to GitHub easily, but you need to have SSH set up for once. Okay, no more questions, meaning that I will quickly give you a rundown of what I want you to know for now. We will go into more detail again and again and again and again in the future. I already showed all of you how to clone a repository, and I would highly recommend that all of you clone the Legal++ 2024 repository that we did right now twice. So you all have, this is our common repository on your machine. Meaning you will then have a folder in which we all together write code. I might actually skip the branch part until next session and go a couple slides ahead. I will need to teach this to you in 100% in the future, but rather go to the important part that you need to do. Generally, the problem is if multiple people work on the same project, that people have different opinions or different working states even that you are talking about. I might do a change to my whatever file and have it on GitHub, and you might do a different change, and we might disagree. This is something that we will touch next session. However, what you need to do in the beginning, and I think you all should actually do that, learn how to get your code onto GitHub, or how to get code off GitHub on your machine. So if you get your code on your machine to GitHub, you would call that a push. So you push your changes, your commits to GitHub. And the other thing around this would be a pull. The pull is what you have seen me do at the beginning of the session, where I showed you that if I want to make sure that I am on the latest version, I do a git pull in the beginning. But the git push is the exact opposite. So every time before I stop working, or whenever I made something that I want to share with my team, I make sure that I locally, this is important, locally I need to do the commits. So I, in my Git locally, have made a commit. This is, and I'm saying, look, this is done, this is good. And after I made the commit, I would then do a git push. And the git push sends all my commits to the repository that I have told it in the beginning it should send the stuff to. It's called the to its remote. So if you have properly copied the Legal++ 2024 repository, it is automatically set up for you. So your Git automatically knows where it should send that data to. And what you all can now do is, if you inside of that code folder that you just pulled on your machine, make a change and commit that change, you can afterwards do this git push and send all the changes you made to GitHub. And everyone else from the team could, as soon as it has been pushed, do a git pull to update the version of our common code base that we have to the latest level. Okay, but this is, as it is, the time has progressed very far, and I have seen this risk. All that needs to be done for today. One thing that I would like you to do, so this homework please only do it partially. Please make sure, this is the important part, to have your GitHub set up, configured properly, and to have cloned our Legal++ 2024 repository on your machine. Inside of that Legal++ 2024, I hope I already have that in there. Yes, there is one file that is named readme.md. Please edit this readme.md file with however you want to do it, Vim, Nano, whatever, and enter into this file your name and whatever line, like Sebastian was here. And after you made the changes to the file, create a commit for the change, so add and commit, and then push your change to GitHub. And I will take a look at GitHub every now and then to see who has made changes. Also, when working on this, make sure to pull, because then you only see what the others did on the project. And we can maybe next time even, I can elaborate on disagreement between individual people where one overrides what the other did. So make sure to actually push, pull changes. Okay, and I think this concludes it for today. It's only a couple minutes that are left on how branches work. We will do this next time. But I think for now, this should be sufficient because it was it's a very rough session to set up SSH because it would take way too much time to fully explain how SSH is doing. Everything that I have here, you will of course always find online, same as the lectures. I need to make sure to cut out your private SSH key. Everything else, I think, should be fine.
Yeah, thank you.
I will now stop the recording.